Hey everybody, my name is Kyle Phelan. I'd like to welcome y'all to the About podcast.
Kyle!
So tonight was the last night of our tour.
Yeah.
5 weeks culminated in this ridiculously awesome show.
It started in Scottsdale and then it ended here miraculously because
we got to spend 2 hungover days with Kyle Phelan.
That's right.
That is a great...
And now we're ending it with this night that's going to lead to a horrible hungover drive back to San Diego.
No, I'm totally comfortable with that. Yeah, like start the tour.
You're the cause of that. I hope you're comfortable.
Like enjoy yourself enough to totally get sick through the tour and then come back and then you can recover. But
yeah, I'm gonna blame the whole sickness on you.
Yeah, that's
I got sick 2 weeks after I met you.
Right.
That sounds like a pregnancy.
You would,
I like to think of like
wouldn't be.
Oh man,
I was gonna say wouldn't be the first time, and then she said that, and then I retracted it out of my head right away.
I really like to think of like fucking 200 guys and then going back to like your high school boyfriend and being like, dude, you did this to me when you get something.
Yes.
That's you, Kyle.
Yeah.
You got us sick. You weakened our immune systems the first night of this tour.
That's right.
Fucking Lincoln.
Oh, thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get seated in the John Wilkes booth.
Just keep going back
shit.
farther.
Yeah.
Right?
You didn't even bring the right to bear arms.
Fucking
That's not going to make
Jefferson.
sense.
No.
Okay, let's talk about tonight's show. For real. So tonight's show was probably the best gig that KTP
Oh,
has
man.
ever.
I think it is my
so
favorite gig.
cool.
No, it's my new favorite gig.
For a lot of reasons too, not just because it went so well.
Yeah, for sure it did, but the whole atmosphere and energy, right?
Whole leading up to tonight was like, fuck man, this is gonna be such a cool show. We get to play with Kyle and Kyle's band, and the fact that he cared enough to put a show together with us for the last show of the tour, just to fit it in.
Absolutely.
That was the precursor to how the whole night went. And then we got here and it was like, fuck man, we get to play with a killer band.
Yeah.
We get to watch a show. We would have gone to the show.
Yeah.
Had we not played the show.
Well, it's
we
like
would have gone to the Kyle Phelan
It's
show.
an amazing, I don't even think that Kyle was privy to the fact necessarily that this was the last night of our tour.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But you treated it with the fanfare. You promoted it, you made it a full band show.
Yeah, I
and
was
promoted it as a big
It was
deal,
funny
which
earlier,
it was to us.
Earlier today too, I thought about that, and after you're saying, this is the last one, and everyone's like, this is kind of cool, put all the eggs in, and just go for it. But I wasn't aware of that when we were just pulling dates out months ago. I was like, oh cool, the 30th would be cool.
Yeah.
That's a Thursday. I'm off, and y'all will be in Arizona still at that point, and it's just awesome how that worked out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty perfect. Well, how were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like you said, we would have gone to the show anyway, and we would have gone to the show if it was a solo show.
Yeah.
But all the things that added, it was just such a special night because we got to play, and there was a nice energy. I was telling David when we were packing out, I was just nervous enough that it was great because I wanted to put on. Because I knew you guys were after us, and Holly was great too.
It's so funny. I felt
man.
the same way after hearing y'all. But please keep
Right.
going.
Oh,
and I think that's what's cool about mutually appreciating each other is that I was just nervous enough that it was cool because I was like, oh man, I really admire and respect all these guys. I admire and respect you and your band, and I wanted to put on the best show we could put on.
Yeah,
for you guys.
I think everyone brought each other up to
Yeah.
a really cool level.
Yeah, I think we did represent ourselves.
Oh yeah, I think
the best way.
I think
we could
we've
have.
played.
Yeah.
And what's great too is that it was a great representation of bands at their best at their state of evolution.
Right.
I didn't realize going into it that Holly
Yeah.
They had only been playing together for under a year.
Yeah.
Right? We've
been
been
the first
playing
time
together
they've done a couple of those songs out live.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they represented those perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, we're slightly less experienced than the Kyle Phelan Band.
Right.
And I feel like we represented our state as best we could have. And fucking Kyle Phelan, holy shit.
Yeah.
Represented themselves.
I felt like everyone held like such great ground, like not even held ground. Like it was, I felt like y'all like brought like heat that you were very comfortable with, like that's you guys, And I felt like you did it in a way that was, this is us. This is the last one on the tour, but this is what we do.
Right.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt like I'd be able to catch y'all, like, and you would sound that good. And there could be cool emotions about being this show, but I felt like you could tell that there was a, with just your percussion sort of elements and stuff going on, and the way that everyone talks to each other without saying anything is really, really special. And so like laying that groundwork, and if that is a great representation of y'all, I mean that's right. It blew us away,
Sitting sun. Burning down the sky, dancing on the water. Neon moon, rising high, Mother Nature's daughter. Side by side.
It's not that any of us aren't capable of putting on a stage show. We all are. But you gave us the opportunity to really play.
It was my pleasure.
It was amazing.
I knew it right.
And it was amazing
right
to watch your show.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you.
So amazing.
Yeah, right off the bat, it was the first. I mean, Rock Bar in Scottsdale has like been my home for a long time.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian.
And Brian,
amazing.
Alex. Yeah. But it's a real stage and it's a real sound rig. I mean, so I was the first. It was a no-brainer for me, and they've been great to me throughout the years, and I knew we could just kind of pick and that was the thing, like I wanted to pick an off day so we could do whatever we wanted, and then it was just coincidence that it was the last time on your, end of the tour. It worked out perfect. Yeah, you guys definitely have a spot anytime you come into town.
I want to know how you connected with all your bandmates.
Yeah.
With Mel and Lamar and Adam and Matt, like what was the story behind meeting all of them and then becoming,
Yeah, the Lord. Yeah.
The sweet, sweet Lord.
With an E? The singer?
Like, yeah, who
No,
you
no.
know Lord?
No. Jesus Christ.
Mm.
Yeah.
You mean like Jesus Christ?
No, like love it. I got like mixed up. Matt and I were set up at this like shitty like resort gig. I won't specify what it was, but the first time we met was like we're playing a duo.
You should say it and I'll bleep it. It'll be
Yeah,
funny.
it'll be really funny.
I promise I'll bleep it.
It says Shrimp Resort. Oh, no, you're saying you can do that on the back end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be funnier.
I'm still not going to.
It'll be like...
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it?
Use enough
No,
syllables.
that's okay.
Use enough
We
syllables.
absolutely will
it's been
bleep
way
I
it.
will
past.
bleep it.
Kyle, we will bleep it.
We will.
Seriously. We will not put
Yeah.
your reputation at risk.
And if you want, you can
I'm
just
totally
say...
fucking around. I don't give a shit. Desert Mountain sucks.
Is that their name? Desert Mountain Sucks?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sure
Desert
they are.
Mountain Sucks Resort.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Wow,
like,
that's a
And they
shitty
still
name.
they're profitable. They're like a lucrative.
talk about like trying to like push your own shit. That you're not even allowed on the property. Like the restaurant that's in, it's like $1.5 million for a lot
Right.
before you even start building a house and the shit. So this is the kind of place that I was playing at. And that was the first time Matt and I met. And so Matt is like I was saying, like Matt and Mel.
Wait. So I'm sorry. You can't simplify it to that degree. How did you meet Matt? You booked the gig and paired him with you?
No, there was another agent, another a friend of ours, Mike Florio in town. He's the booking agent that, actually an awesome drummer as well, but he couldn't do the gig, and so initially it was going to be Mike and I.
Okay.
And then he put Matt in the gig, and so it just like worked out really well.
Yeah.
And I'm really green with these like privates at this point. Like this was like 5 years ago.
Right.
You know, and so like I'm still used to like, you know, getting a little inebriated at like, you know, Irish bars till like that's the gig kind of thing, you know, and not like show, you know. Yeah, so I guess you could say I was pretty young at that point. Showed up in flip-flops. And it's like a private estate. Like I have like the gated area. Like they're like, so who are? I'm like, I'm playing music. Like where? I'm like, I don't know. You know, like so. Yeah, it was one of those. But I only brought that up of how green I was, because that was the first kind of introduction to like learning how to be a professional in Phoenix, because Matt and Mike Florio, the guy that introduced us, they're veteran cats that have been playing for years and really know everybody that is very talented in town that get a lot of work for these sort of things. Mm-hmm. So Matt and I became friends and played this gig, and it was whatever. But we started rapping, and then I was releasing a CD at that time. And
which one?
It's called Kyle Phelan 3. And it's on iTunes and all that cool jazz. It's got my face on the cover and everything. It's really, really awkward.
You can't miss it.
Yeah,
it's Kyle face.
Yeah, it's kind
3.
of.
Right. Well, I mean, if your aim's really bad, you could miss it. But I usually hit it.
That was a sexual joke.
He has a very big poster view in his bedroom, though. So
really,
it makes it so easy.
And it really is awesome aim.
No, I don't even have to aim at all. It's amazing. I just lay the whole thing on my bed.
That is so funny
Always.
because semen.
Well done, sir. That was very well done. That was very great.
So said the sailor.
Anyways, so you met
So
Matt.
I was making this record, and no, so Matt and I played that gig, and I was trying to release this album, and he's like, "You got to get the guys. You got to get Mel and Lamar and Adam. Like, let's just do it, you know, for the release party."
So he knew everybody.
So he had already been,
Okay.
Him, Matt Goodman and Mel Brown, Lamar Gaines and Adam Armijo had already been a unit for a long time, and they went by Bad Sneakers for a long period of time, and it's a Steely Dan cover band.
Yeah.
And so they were very successful in town for a while, and so that's always been kind of like the bass rhythm section, you know.
Yeah.
And so he's like, you just got to get the guys, man. Let's just do it. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I hadn't met any of these cats. Like, it was just been slowly getting into the professional, like, echelon musician in Phoenix, you know. And I sent Mel like 18 MP3s of my original music. He charted everything out, and we had one rehearsal and played the release party, and it was like, wow. We had one rehearsal for like 3 hours, and it was like we went through tunes,
right?
Meaning like, all right, cool, let's go from A to
so
alphabetical. Like, let's just go down the list, and
yeah,
I was hearing these songs I've been playing for years, and I was like, holy shit!
That's what they sound like with musicians.
We were saying tonight.
Well, and no offense to like what like awesome stuff I've done in the past, like with great players, but like it was just a different.
Yeah.
It was a different
They're a
experience.
real special group.
Yeah,
really
and having that unit already assembled, you know,
Yeah.
it was just kind of like I'm still just grateful to be like on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
dude,
like
but you
see how less I played. Like I was like, I don't need to play shit, man.
Yeah.
Like,
but
I just
honestly,
want to like stay
man,
out of the
Kyle,
way.
You've always been that dude. When you were 17 years old, I remember you having like the best backers possible. You're just
It
you
seems
have
like
it to be the band leader, like to be the person that they look to.
Yeah.
Even like no matter how respectable and however many Grammys everybody in that band has, you're such a good you telegraph so well.
Yeah.
You're such an easy person to look to.
Oh, cool, man.
For the downbeat or for the whatever cue, you know, and that's incredibly important. That's almost it's as important, if not more important, than playing the killer lick.
And to our
Sure.
our non-musician listeners, it's hard to describe how important, like, it's not, you know, a band is not a bunch of people like separately playing parts at the same time. To get those killer performances, you know, whether it's like something that's comping or padding, or just in a support role, or someone stepping out and taking a solo, or whatever the case is, to get those things, they're inspired by the front man. Like, if you're the energy you set by from the beginning, before you even step on stage, with the songwriting, the energy you set with crafting a good song with an idea that's honest. It doesn't have to,
and it can be two chords.
It can be really clever and sophisticated, or it can be really simple. The most important thing is that it's honest and it touches and moves people, and your songs do that. So you already lay the groundwork well before you step on stage, and then you get on stage and you're a great frontman, you're a great band leader, a wonderful singer, and that energy makes the band around you good.
And that you're present when you're on stage. When you're not like just absent-mindedly singing your songs that you're present on stage.
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty sure I know for a fact that all of us cried tonight when you played Family, and I think you did too.
Yeah.
And it's like
it
could take like a 2-second thing,
where
I tap into something that means that much to me, and it's beautiful, and I love it. I mean, that song is so way bigger than I am.
It's gorgeous.
And
Tell us about that song, actually. Tell us about
I wrote that song with my great friend Sean Mitchell that actually I met in San Diego.
Sean.
We met. And you know, I have an amazing family, a huge Cajun family, and it's primarily all on my mom's side. So from Louisiana, and most of the family's been in Phoenix, but some in St. Louis and what have you. But we just grew up with this, like, you didn't have a choice. You know, family gatherings, you ate gumbo and red beans and rice and crawfish etouffee and dirty rice and jambalaya and you know, you sang along, or you played something, or you grabbed something to make noise while Uncle Norman and Uncle Charlie and everyone was playing something. So like, that's where I came from.
Yeah.
And it's this root of, with my mama and papa, Norman and Elma LeBlanc, they created this amazing connection with everybody, that your family is the most important thing that you have, and there are people that aren't blood that are family, but it could be any version of your family that you're listening to when you hear the song. It could be your family that you're, you know. But my papa and mama like created that, and so Sean and I were writing, and I kind of, I don't know, I had it on my head, and this was young, man. Like, this was way back in the day, and the song's been reinvented a couple of times.
Woe to you, friends, they up and fall like a leaf. Even the strongest storm couldn't uproot your family tree. When you're all grown up on your own,
the root of it's always been there, and you know, family isn't just people; it's a place to be.
Come home, family isn't just people; it's a place to be. Something you just can't find anyone see on your big screen.
Something way bigger than you see on the big screen in the magazine.
Anyone, your favorite magazine, more than anyone, it's family.
More than anyone, it's family.
I hear stories from my closest friends. They say it all looks good on the outside, but take a look in. Not everybody's family is close like mine. So I pinch myself every day because I realize family.
You know, and that's like the most beautiful way that I could try to explain how I feel that it's beautiful. You know, I don't know, like it's like I said, it's so much bigger than I am, and I feel like I'm just so grateful to tap into that sort of, like, you know, vibration. And not to get weird about it, but I'm just saying, like, to perform family at, like, tonight at this show, you know, there's still, I mean, much less at, like, some funerals, and like my papa's funeral, I performed, my grandma's, my mom's funeral, I performed family, and my cousin Bo, I performed family. And so the song is
back then.
Yeah, and so the song is really even situationally bigger than you know, it's turned into be bigger a lot than before I cut it on this record. And obviously I thought I wanted it to be the name of the album, and so I'm so blessed that it, like, affects people in that kind of a cool way that y'all can have, you know, an experience with. And I tap in for like a couple seconds, and like maybe I don't know specifically tonight what I did tap into, but sometimes I just look out and I just feel so blessed and like grateful that it makes me feel emotional. You know what I mean? And
that kind of thing, though, that makes you qualified to play with any player in the world.
Oh man,
to like I can imagine. If I was the best bass player, the best drummer, the best keyboard player in the whole world, to be backing up somebody who's tapping into that would be such an honor. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it was funny, too, that there were so many, for me personally, from my perspective sitting there with these guys, there were so many things happening for me during that song. And that song was representative. I mean, that it took the energy almost like of the whole set before it, and put and like banked it all and pushed it into that song. And for me, what was really neat about that is that here I am on tour with these two are my family. Like, this is my, you know, I mean, I have blood family, obviously. I have my mom and dad and all that stuff. But in terms of like my day-to-day life, these two are my closest family, Sandy and Davey are, and we're a unit, like we're a band, but we're also like, you know, obviously Sandy and I are a couple, and Davey like
also a couple.
But Davey and I are a couple.
Sandy doesn't know.
Sandy doesn't know about it.
No, this is your family.
But this is
I know.
This is. But
sorry to cheapen that.
No. So there was that, and we're sitting at the end of this tour, and you get, you know, a little emotional at the end of a tour anyway.
Sure.
But we're sitting here at the end of this tour, right where we started it, with you. And what's cool about that, too, is I talk often about these guys, and what's neat is, like, these two keep such special people in their lives that I find myself, like, feeling like I have known someone for 20 years after the first time I meet them, one of their friends, and that's how I feel with you. I feel like we were high school friends.
Yeah, you and I were already buddies.
Somewhere
I was joking when I was introduced, like, well, him and I have known each other since the womb.
Yeah.
Right.
But there,
what's his name?
And there was that, and then on another, you know, like on another level, what was cool to me is, you know, we did Alan Hines for episode 11, and he is one of my two favorite guitar players in the world, and that was really, really special to me, and the fact that we've seen him a couple times since then and stuff, and I felt such like sincerity and just casual acceptance from him of us, and like, yeah, come on up.
Yeah,
My
he's
other
a friend now.
he's like almost he's a friend now, and my other favorite is Adam Armijo. And he, you know, right after we came off, he came up and hugged me. He was like, "You guys are great, bro." And I was like, "Man, I'm a huge fan." He said, "Me too." Back after that set, and I just thought,
can you imagine hearing that
from one of your favorite players? And what was cool about that, though, what it gave, what it sort of, the momentum of that is just like, oh shit, we're all we're a family. Like musicians who really care about what they do, you know, we identify with each other in a way that no one else can really identify with.
Yeah.
And that's a really special family. And so anyway, you were saying that, and it was just resonating on so many levels. Like shit, and it makes me want to call one of our tours like the family tour and credit you, like to call it that after your song.
Ooh, can we?
Crazy flattery.
Can we do a co-tour?
Can you?
Is that
do you want
silly?
a tour?
God
It's
damn
funny.
it.
We can back you up, dude. We can be your backing
it's
band.
funny. Matt was
We can be your back band while you play.
Matt was
We can
even talking about it, and Mel came over too, and he
Oh
was
no,
like,
Matt's playing drums with us every time we're in Phoenix.
yeah,
That's decided.
Mel came. He's like, oh, it's like, how do you know these cats? You know, I'm like, yeah, Dave left. Like, I've known him in San Diego for a while, and then he's introduced me, you know, to Sandy and Josh, and it's like, it's turned into this like cool thing, you know. And he's like, so what? They in San Diego then? And I'm like, yeah, but they've been on tour for like 5 weeks or what have you, and this is like the last like stop. And it's like, and they're playing, you know, Mel. He's like, and they're playing the originals, you know, they're playing original tunes. Yeah.
I could hug Mel for a month.
Yeah, man.
I'd love to hug Mel.
And I'm
for a
like,
month.
yeah,
I love
man,
it.
they're doing it, man. Like they spaced out the tour well to find some cool money gigs and in between pushing their stuff and really trying to move their band the way that they're trying, you know. And he's like, man, I've always wanted to be just, you know, like in a band.
That's what he was saying to me too.
And I'm like, I looked at Mel. I'm like, all right, cool, man. I'm gonna set it up.
Fuck you.
I'll send your assistant the itinerary.
Dude,
it just says you're playing me forever.
I've got to expand on that.
Perpetuity, you know.
Mel said
legal
like
shit that they say.
Mel said verbatim to me. He said something like, I'm gonna say, he said something like right after I said, he said verbatim. So this is not verbatim now. But Mel said something to me about like, man, I've ghosted on so many albums, like metal albums, soul albums, all kinds of shit. I've played bass on all these albums that have won Grammys, and like I'm not credited on them. I played on them, but man, when I look back at just like being a developing musician, I wish I did what you guys did. I wish I ever did the like being in a tour van. Just going on a tour, just being in a band, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, tour van."
Tour
no,
Yeah.
You think we have a
I told him
band?
too,
That's
like, yeah,
hilarious.
it's like the three of them, man. They just love. They gotta carry anything on top of the
Dude,
car.
what a sweetheart though. Like he
Yeah.
has the right attitude, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Even
so
after
cool.
all of that,
And it's like he shows up, you know, back in his
and
you
he's
know touring,
incredible.
he's showing up in
He's an
limos.
incredible
Right.
I mean, like, you know,
Yeah.
and he wants to show. He wants to be stuffed, you know, in the Prius.
Yeah, yeah. Mel, come on, jump in,
in the
man.
Prius, man.
Yeah.
There's room.
We've got Bungie.
We'll take one of the guitars out and just
Yeah.
jump
We
in
had
there,
the
just
talk. I've got a 12-inch.
We should go to the
cone
Prius
for you.
Yeah.
We'll
Get another
No, but even Matt was
Anyway.
saying, he's like, because it was like I said about Brian, like not BSing about you know y'all's sound and everything. Like it was really cool hearing like, because it's always like interesting music in between band changes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like we were noticing.
Right.
And so, but a lot of the time too, it'll be like even the opening bands will be, or like we're like a middle band, you know, and
This
it'll
was
be
such
like
a good
that,
bill.
like just.
It's a really
Yeah,
Scourge.
disjunct. Yeah.
But so like having my band that like is coming out, you know, late, and you know these cats are not getting paid that well, and you know on a Thursday night, you know, and hanging loose, and then them just being like, damn, these guys are good.
They enjoyed the show.
Oh man,
like it was worth it
they
for
enjoyed
them
the
to
hell
be
out of it.
there.
Like
Yeah.
Matt.
That's amazing.
We were just
Matt was
talking
sitting there,
about
and he mentioned about like, just like, imagine, dude, we just both tour together. Like,
I made a joke
we'd
to
have-
Matt, by the
oh,
way. So
God.
when we were finishing our first song, and I really like to believe that this is true in my head. I said this to him. So we were finishing our first song, and I was like, "Hey Matt, Mr. Matt on the drums.
Yeah.
Would you mind coming up here for a second?" And then he came up, and I was like, hey dude, would you mind turning your snare drum off? It's really fucking annoying. I didn't really say it like that. I didn't say it like that.
Yeah, because on the microphone you were really playing like, am that a drum guy?
Yeah, exactly. But when he came up, I whisper in his ear, I'm like, hey, you son of a bitch.
Turn the fucking snare ringers off.
What's your deal, bro? Who do you think you are? But I like to imagine that he was like, yeah, are you asking me to sit in with you? And I'm like, turn your snare off, bro. You're fucking our shit up.
So there's no way he's going to play with you.
No, he's not welcome.
No.
Let that be known.
I've just spoken for him about being upset about...
Right.
Davey, he's the one who, like... Okay, we, like, are pretty cool, but, like, Davey, he has a really hot head. Right, every time we play, he's like,
how dare you say that? How dare you say that on our podcast? You bitch! I'm the coolest!
I think I just...
I can stack 11 beers!
11 beers! You saw it! 11!
Courtney, meatloaf! We want it now!
God damn it, Sandy! Oh, I'm gonna stab you with this!
Dude, the Gaines brothers, man. Like, Will Gaines...
What does he play?
He plays bass and sings, and it's... They're twins. It's like literally, they look like twins too. But just you heard Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar. By the way, when it comes to that was a huge thing about your band that I talked to Mel about, and he was like, it was very surprising to me when I talked to him about, like, your tone's amazing. You sit below the bass drum punch, but it's still articulate, and that's a fact about your entire band. I recognize that Brian did a lot of the mixing tonight, but I can tell that if nothing was coming out of the house, you guys are so aware. There's like the acoustic guitar sits in a spot, the vocals sit in a spot, bass drum's there. Mel places his bass below that, and it's still punchy. Yeah. And then where Lamar is padding is an entirely different frequency range of where Adam is padding.
Yeah.
Like, everything's so clear and the most intelligent. It's like orchestral, the way that you guys self-mix.
That's really... And that's all them, man. I mean, it normally...
Well, no, it's definitely not you.
No,
read that.
Dude, I already talked about you. Like, this absolutely has nothing to do with you. No, but normally they're on opposite sides just to kind of... He's curious.
Yeah. By Curious George.
By Curious George is... Yeah.
But yeah, it is cool too. Like, almost sometimes when they're like right next to each other, cause like having Lamar on keys like right behind Adam, like on electric, like sometimes they kind of, because a lot of the times it's the same phone call, like for a solo, like, right? So it's like.
Dude, they communicate with each other though.
But and
I saw that a few times. You looked at them, and Adam looked at Lamar like,
and most of the time,
it's
it's awesome. Like, you give me praise about like band leading, man. It's like that's so rad. But like, I mean,
it's true.
Like Mel like leads the band, but like I've played with him enough now where it's like Mel's the first one to be like, no man, just do your thing, dude.
Yeah.
He said that right when I was telling him we're playing Free Falling instead of the first tune on the set list. Yeah. Like, hey man, just to kind of get the things, and like we do Free Falling, we'll do it in F and like true F and on E flat. So it's like And he's like, Kyle, just do your thing, man. I'm like, that's like it made me all warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
I was like, you're right, man. Guess it is my name on the shit. I should lead this, Yeah. But like he's always been like that. But he's been so influential with like helping me try to lead it in like if I did one, I'm like, hey, quiet down, let's do this. I want you to go.
Yeah.
Come on, talk to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. Giving me the confidence to be able to make those audibles and those calls is it's a lot that I've learned from the whole band, like from Mel and Matt. So I'll never not be able to credit them with and just feel blessed about.
Like you said, man, we were talking earlier about how like playing with people that are better than you, playing up, like constantly just playing up, playing. Yeah. You're never gonna not have a good show. You're never gonna not enjoy what you're doing because you're constantly playing up and you're constantly trying to reach towards the people that you're playing with and how good that's gonna make everything. It doesn't matter. Like,
and I think that kind of taps on what you were saying earlier. You know, about like the musician kind of sort of language and family that we all can kind of. But I mean, that happens when it's like y'all communicate in that way of. Echelon just sounds so stupid to me, like a different echelon of whatever. But like, I mean, a certain like standard of or an understanding of what you're trying to accomplish with the sound and or band that you're trying to deliver. You guys have a very, very clear picture and representation of what that is, and I think that's why my band and y'all's like could just feel each other so well, because you see a lot of players that are great play, but if no one's playing together, then it's like, all right, sweet. That was an interesting jam.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, like, you know, being on tour and all that, and y'all have
we
had
live
that
together
much
too.
time. Yeah, you guys are just together all the time.
We are family, literally. We are family, and we.
We're not like sexually, just being like in general in the musician.
Super cheating. No.
Yeah.
We totally don't cheat.
Right.
There's no way that these two totally want to hang out and sleep together.
I have no idea what Josh's insides look like.
No, I know, not at all.
I'd have no way of knowing.
Why would you know
literally,
that?
I don't though. Like,
do you want to find out?
Until he took a shit in my pool, or
right.
Just the butthole.
Let's say into. Because that
not
specifies.
In the pool, but
I like
into
when
the
you
pool.
say into the pool. That lets the listener know that I was not myself in the pool.
I have a question whether we include this in the podcast or not.
Too
I want
cold.
to. It doesn't really matter. I honestly want to know. I know you because Davey and Sam knew you, and I heard your name rattled around in the whole realm of music for a long time, and every time it came around, it was like, man, this guy's really cool. I want to like play a show with him, whatever. But then it just never worked out.
Let's be honest, we're on the
This
podcast.
guy sounds like an asshole. Whatever.
Dick.
No. But
that's probably why I didn't win the San Diego.
Oh yeah, we're nominated every year.
Right.
And we're always
totally.
right there.
Everyone knows who we are, too. No, but
Jason Mraz.
your name rattled around, I think, in my brain personally for the last 5 years, I think. I've known your name, and I just met you 5 weeks ago on the first show of the tour, which is awesome, and I've been trying to, figure out how to make that work, but that's not the first time we have collectively talked about doing a show with you. We've individually been like, man, it'd be really cool to get a show with Kyle, and Josh actually, through knowing your music, found Brian Chartrand, he's a good friend of yours. Mm-hmm. And Josh's album is actually
that was the Worth the Fight was the reference to my producer.
Yeah. For
how to produce my.
No kidding.
Yep.
Yeah, Worth the Fight was the audio reference for that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do you know the? Your producer. I wish I was able to.
You might know him, Swen
Erickson.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? He's got nice
Swen.
locks.
Yeah.
Right. No, we don't like him either.
Right.
He's got great hair.
Yeah, he's all right. He's fine.
Yeah.
Can you not talk so good about him because he's a fucking asshole?
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. He's a previous podcast.
He used to play with Michael Tiernan a lot. We went on a party.
Dude,
bus.
don't get me started on Tiernan.
There's another asshole.
Don't start me on Tiernan, bro.
Dude.
Oh, I get so heated.
He's so nice, man.
Every one of
so
you guys.
cool, man.
Yeah.
They're the worst,
Anyway,
man.
Yeah, but
Anyways,
that's so rad.
we got turned on to your music, and then got turned on to Brian Chartrand's, and then his album was like, this is the thing that I would love, and then
I can't wait to put it in.
Man.
Yeah.
The whole circle that happened.
Said.
I can't wait to put it in. That's what
Yeah.
She said that one time.
There
was a time.
I meant the audio.
You weren't there. You weren't. You know what? We were friends at the time.
I'm never there.
But you weren't at the same place. She and I were at
But
the same place,
she?
and
Who
she
is
said
she?
that.
That's
Who
right.
is she?
She
though?
said, "I can't wait to put."
Who is she?
Who is she?
You sound like the Quita.
Well, I'm not gonna. She said it. Let's move on. Okay.
Anyways.
I love that Brian Chartrand's such a talented dude, and all of his Sweet Remains stuff. He's in Europe right now with Sweet Remains.
Yeah,
and it's so cool meeting him too. Like, and
well, that was the question. I think I was
having that tied around is I pretty much stole his band. So like that was the other thing of like Mike Florio and put Matt and I together at that gig.
Yeah,
Desert Mountain. And then, but like I went and saw Brian.
Yeah,
and
Mike's
played
on Brian's gigs.
Yeah, yeah. That was the band there for a while. It was Mike and Adam and Lamar and Will. Lamar's brother was. I mean, Mel originally was the bass player, and the Voce Project is what Brian called that collection. He's got an album out called the Voce Project. Just a great album. Summertime Jam. It's a really, really good cut.
It's a summertime jam.
I'm gonna rock up to the land.
That's right. Oh shit, dude, that song is. That's like the solo song, right? They all.
It's a summertime jam within the rock on through the land. Nothing fancy and it's understood. Raise your glass if you're feeling good. Summertime jam within the rock on through the land. It doesn't matter where you are, just clap your hands, sing along now. Yeah, 'cause if you're at the lake, you're feeling great.
So like that was kind of like Mel, was in that, and so he was kind of in that crew, whatever. But I met like all those guys, It's like, I had coffee right before that release party when I had all the guys like confirmed to play the show, and I'm like, what the hell am what do I do? Like Brian knows me, at that point too. I'm like just playing so many solo gigs, like I don't know how. Like what do I do? Like, and he's like, dude, you have a killing band, like. They're gonna chart it out, and you just need to hang loose and like have fun. Like, it'll sound like your band's gonna sound ridiculous. It's like just, and he's a perfect person to talk to about it because like he's been playing with these cats forever. Like being a solo artist, and a singer songwriter with these supporting guys. Like he's like, dude, it's gonna be overwhelming, and then sure enough, 4 or 5 years later now, it's like. I kind of get a lot of things I didn't back then, but it still kind of rings true as that same like I still like what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm like guitar sounded like crap on stage tonight, but I didn't care, man.
You
I
totally
really
deserve it.
Like,
though. Honestly,
I was like, cool.
That kind of backing band couldn't have a better front man. And honestly, I actually specifically commented on. I've never heard an acoustic guitar mixed so well.
Yeah. Oh, cool! And I knew Brian was going to take care of it out there,
That's the weird
and that's
thing
why I wasn't going to
like
waste time like being like, oh, the guitar's this.
That's such a funny thing.
It's one thing vocally.
Like,
vocally, I'm like, I need to like sound
doing.
cool and like make sure I'm not messing up, Matt and stuff. And make sure I can hear myself to a degree.
That's such a funny thing.
But like guitar for me with that band, bro, it's like I don't really need to be playing.
It does add no, you do.
But I mean, I do, but it's like, it ain't like I'm like needing to really carry
No.
shit.
I mean, the textures are there, but it's a really nice.
And I try to
like
just
the
slowly,
way that he mixed it is it's almost like a percussion instrument.
It's a part,
but it's so nice, dude.
Yeah.
And that's such a funny thing about like the better stages you play, the better the house mix is, the more customized
and
he'll
position.
And
stuff.
the less you're aware of how great
Yeah.
the house mix is, which is such a funny thing.
Yeah.
Like, it would be amazing to play a house like that when all the monitors are just playing the house mix, because it was amazing. It was a record. It sounded like listening to a record.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how y'all sound. Like after hearing y'all up, and like even Holly, like their situation, like I felt like the guitar could have been a little bit different, but like I felt like both of their vocals were like,
but still, they weren't hearing
boom,
that. You could tell by their reaction.
Exactly, yeah.
And then us as
and then
well.
when y'all went up, and
Right,
I
we
heard
weren't
that
hearing
mix, I was
exactly
like,
that.
so when I heard something that was a little squirrely to me on stage, I was like, I know he's taking care of it up there.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you know, and that to me is like I'm just the brink of like, is this messing with my performance or is this like a, you know, if I can perform and have fun with it, then I don't care.
Yep.
Right.
You know, because I know that it's good.
Yeah.
So, but if it's like
making,
if it's hindering
fuck
my
up your whole night
performance
by being like,
and
more this,
I'm missing
like
words because I'm distracted because of how I'm hearing myself, then that's something I have to say something.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
But it wasn't like that. You know, it was just like, cool, hey, shoot, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Go ahead.
Again,
take one, man.
That's another reason why it was a really fucking cool way to end this tour, because that's not something we get ever. We don't play stage shows very much, and it's not because we don't want to, but because we can't afford to.
Sure.
And so
a lot of times you have to pay to play or something.
Yeah,
man.
Well,
we can't afford to pay to play.
Yeah, we don't.
So
we don't
do
it. We don't do pay to play, but most of the stage shows available in San Diego are free. Like, and they don't pay.
So we save money to pay a band, and then we have our band play with us, but we have saved the money for the month to play with them. And so
I see what you're saying. Like,
really, really cool.
Instead of playing like a corporate or a bar gig. To put an original music night together is like a...
It's a deal.
It's a big deal. It's a really big deal to us. Yeah.
Which, by the way, out there, just to plug, those of you who are supporting us on Patreon, thank you. Support artists on Patreon, because that's the thing that gets us to move away from bar restaurant gigs playing to the backs of people's heads to getting to put together shows that we enjoy.
They're actually really fun to play, like tonight, which people who are fans of you, Kyle, and us, and Holly, and anyone that, like, in that vein of music, if you would have come to the show tonight, it would have been like a treat. You get like a great show full of musicians that appreciate each other, not only like there to support just their own band, like we were talking about earlier, Kyle. Like
stand for the whole show. And
we're all there for the entire show. We love all the other musicians, and everybody in the whole venue could feel that energy, I think. Like, we all were there for each other, because that's the kind of show we like to put together, and we can't do it unless we have patrons.
I just thank you Rock Bar, thank you Scottsdale, thank you America, thank you Western US. You guys were so good to us on this tour. Thank you to my bandmates. Thank you very much, Kyle, because you made this show, which was our favorite show to date in 170 gigs we've played. This is our favorite show, and you put this together for us.
160.
Absolutely. Appreciate that.
Music on this podcast is provided by Kyle Phelan, King Taylor Project, Brian Chartrand.
Give me an and.
So you really mean penis when you say
when I say dick? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.